So this is the sound decisions video 3. In the previous video, we set up our clocks. We can now verify that our clocks are both counting down from 10 and going up by 1. Once they reach 0 and 10 respectively, we'll get the game over here and our clocks will stop along with our ball. So what we're going to work on now is the gameplay portion of this. So we're going to start off with the ball and write a really simple program. And when we fling this ball, we're going to set ball 1's heading to get heading. And the get heading that we want is the heading of whichever direction that our ball was flung. We're also going to set ball 1's speed to a numerical value, and we can duplicate here, and we'll call this, let's do 20, do something a little bit quicker. But again, this is a great spot for later on that you can write an algorithm to change the speed of your ball as it goes. So when ball 1 reaches an edge, because that's what we're looking at here, when ball 1 reaches that edge, we're going to tell the ball to bounce. So we're going to call that ball to bounce off the edge. And it's going to know how to bounce based off the edge that we have. Again, if it hits 1, it's going to bounce off edge 1 in that angle. If it hits 3, it's going to bounce off of that. So it's basically going to find that edge and bounce off the complementary angle. Now, what we're going to do is set up some if statements. So we're going to grab an if, then, else, if block. Here we go. If, then, else, if. We have 4 edges. That means we need to set up 4 of these. So we're going to go if, else, then, if. So if, else, then blocks. And we're going to drag in four of these. And we can actually get rid of this bottom else here. And what we're going to do is set up an equality here. So we're going to say if the edge we get equals 1, we're going to do this. If the edge, let's duplicate this entire thing. If it equals 3, do this. If it equals -1, do this. And duplicate again. If it equals -3. I guess I threw in 1 too many for my blocks here for this if edge. So I can come up here, I can just remove the last one, and we should be set. Now this is where we can use our sounds. So I'm going to come up to call, and once that edge is hit, we're going to call sound 1 to play. We can go to sound 2 to play. We can go to sound 3 to play if it reaches the 3rd edge, and then duplicate and to go to sound 4. Now, because we're setting this to count how many we have, meaning in labels, how many times we've hit that edge. So we've set that up. We're going to say if the text for that label, and we're going to use a simple math here, and we're going to go, we're going to get that labels text. We're not storing it, so we're just going to get that labels 1. We could store it as a variable if we were going to use it, but for this purposes, we don't need to. And we're going to add 1. So I'm just going to duplicate this block, and I'm going to say if my edge 3 label, add 1. My edge -1. And I can duplicate this again and have this as my edge -3. So if I bring up my emulator now,